Welcome to episode 1 of our Expedition to Goa. Goa is a state of mind. There are shitloads of videos on YouTube about Goa, including this one, but not a single one will ever compensate for actually being in Goa. I've lost count of the number of times I've been here, but I have vivid memories of every single trip that I've made to this place. This video is all about our drive back home. I figured that it'd be nice to start right at the end, simply because everything after this will only get crazier. We were staying at Seolim, which for all practical purposes is still on the north of Goa. And now it was time to say bye. We had three options. Route number 1 was to exit Goa via Amboli and continue on NH48. This was a slightly longer route but would get us home in 10 hours and 41 minutes. Route number 2 was to exit Goa via NH66. This was a slightly shorter route but would get us home in 13 hours and 21 minutes. Route number 3 was to exit Goa via Bicholim and proceed to Belgaum and then continue further on to Bangalore-Mumbai highway for 608 kilometers, and this would get us home in 11 hours and 30 minutes. Now, the first two route options were recommended by Google Maps, and the third one was a route that I personally recommended from prior experience. Of course, there was some resistance to my suggestion initially, but as they say, majority wins, and the rest of it is just history. It was 11:30 in the morning. We were done with breakfast, packed up and ready to hit the road. We started out from Seolim. Until we got to Bardes, it was a side of Goa that still looked familiar. We passed by a lot of restaurants and wine shops along the way, and this in my opinion is just normal. Things started to get really exciting. One turn and boom! Just like that, we're on a road which is just the exact width of our car, and all we can see is greenery on either side. This doesn't look like the Goa that we've seen before. 15 minutes later, we're practically flying past houses, but the road still shows absolutely no sign of getting any wider. The narrow, winding road is an absolute pleasure to drive on, and I am sure that this is a side of Goa that you haven't seen before. All of a sudden I feel like a World Rally Championship driver in this car and on this road. This feeling is out of the world. A few bends later, we are already midway to Bicholim and we're crossing the Calvin Bridge. The bridge, mind you, is marginally wider than the road that we were on, but the view from this bridge is spectacular. By now we've crossed the bridge and I'm back into my rally mode. The road just keeps getting better and better. 10 minutes later, we're already at this place called Main. And out of nowhere, I see something that I would have never expected. Yes, I saw a railway crossing. It is 1:30 now and we've already made it to Bicholim. Remember that fuel is at least 10% cheaper in Goa. So, it's time to tank up. Alright, all of that said and done, the best part of this trip is just coming up. Our next major waypoint is Belgaum in Karnataka. We're at least 80 kilometers and 2 hours away from there. The road we are on is still in Goa, but is sandwiched between Maharashtra and Karnataka. The Karnataka state border is around 35 kilometers from here and one of the most scenic roads in the country. The SH4 is on the fringe of Mahedi Wildlife Sanctuary and passes through the very scenic Anjaneyam Dam. The Mahedi River, also known downstream as the Mandovi River, is the lifeline of the state of Goa. The river actually originates in Karnataka and the whole Mahedi region lies along the Wageri Hills, which literally means abode of tigers. After this epic drive, we were in Belgaum by around 4:30 in the evening. It was way past lunchtime for sure, but we had intentionally kept our stomachs empty. This was to make sure that none of us fell asleep while driving. We got lunch at a local restaurant on the way, and as planned, we did not encounter too much traffic. We were on the Bangalore-Bombay highway a little past 5 p.m. The next major waypoint for us was Kolhapur. Kolhapur is around 110 kilometers and 2 hours away from where we are right now. This highway up until Maharashtra is a piece of art. We were averaging a constant of 150 kilometers per hour. And by the look of it, we would have gotten to Kolhapur way quicker than we'd expected. It's 6 p.m. now. Half an hour later, and 50 kilometers away, we're passing by the outskirts of the Hidkal Reservoir. If you're passing this stretch when the sun hasn't gone down yet, it is completely worth checking out. There is a high chance that you can mistake the Bangalore-Bombay highway for a runway. It is smooth as fuck. We got to the first toll on the Mumbai-Bangalore highway in just 20 minutes. Kolhapur is a little over 70 kilometers from here, and at the pace that we were going in, we would definitely be in Kolhapur way ahead of the ETA that Google Maps was showing us. We covered the next 50 kilometers in 25 minutes. Yeah, for those of you who remember Need for Speed Most Wanted, at some point I felt that this was a toll booth race. The first toll gate in Maharashtra is at Kognoli. We pulled over and got some chai just after that. Kolhapur is around 30 minutes away now, and we've entered Maharashtra. It is 7:15 by the time that we get to the next toll. And this was the start of Kolhapur. It had become dark by now. Satara was our next waypoint. Satara is around 116 kilometers from where we are right now and 2 hours away according to Google Maps. Fortunately, the road wasn't as bad as we had expected, and by around 8:15, we were closing in on Satara. But like always, we got traffic in the most unexpected place. So we eventually ended up reaching Satara only by 9:30 in the night. There was really no time to grab dinner, and the one single point agenda was to get home as quickly as we can. Our next waypoint was Pune. The toll at the outskirts of Pune is around 70 kilometers from where we are right now and 1 hour away according to Google Maps. By around 10 in the night, we were on the Satara Ghat section, which by the way is a breeze to drive through. "40 minutes later, we've made it to the toll gate, which was at the outskirts of Pune. We made a quick stop at Pune to drop off Atul, and we were back on the road in no time. The next stop we had decided would be the food court in the Mumbai-Pune Expressway. We were on the expressway by around 11:40 in the night. I can't be certain about the reason, but there was something about the way my S-Cross was flying today. We were at the food court in Khopoli in less than an hour. Without wasting too much time, we got ourselves a meal at McDonald's and we were back on the road in less than 15 minutes. It was now 1 AM and we had almost come to the end of the expressway. I do not usually take the Palm Beach road, but on this occasion we chose to do exactly that. This was a wise decision. We ended up saving a good 20 minutes of driving time. We had reached the start of JVLR via the Eastern Express Highway by 1:45 AM. I do not think either of us really bothered to get our leg off the pedal and we were continuing to fly. We touched the Western Express Highway in the next 20 minutes or so. After the 2000 plus kilometers that we did in the last 3 days, the only thing that we desperately needed was a bed. And I was actually home by 2:15 AM. While this might be the end of another crazy ass road trip for us, I can assure you that this is only the beginning of an adventure for all of you folks. Stay tuned, keep watching, and please subscribe to my channel if you like what you see.